Hello, the 5 people who are going to be listening. It's a sad day. Just woke up from a nap, checked my phone, and what do I see? And you know what? I knew I shouldn't have taken that nap because, the start of free agency. God damn it. Woke up to the fact that Terrell Suggs, he's going to the Cardinals. As of right now, they haven't released for how much. I was torn, thinking, oh, there's positives if he goes, there's positives if he stays. I'm gonna look at the positives either way, but still, now that it happened, damn, that's just a pillar of the organization for so long is now gone. Dude was here for 16 years. I mean, he's old enough to get a license staying with the team for so long. Like, him staying on the Ravens could be driving the streets. That's how long he was here. And now that he's gone, man, it's sad. Now, I think it's great for maybe the Cap and maybe some of our younger guys, give them a chance, or for whoever we bring in the draft. But I hope not free agency. But, whoever we bring, they're going to have some opportunities now. But we lost a great leader, someone who brought a lot of fans, that's for sure. A lot of 55 jerseys out there are going to have to be thrown in the trash, or at least hung up and put on the shelf, framed up, put in the man cave, and just remember the good old glory days. Because now that's all it is. Now, I'm sure he was going to sign with us again and be inducted into the Ring of Honor in probably 4 or 5 years whenever he decides to retire. But he himself, he's going home. He's going home to Arizona, where he played high school and college, and now he's going back. And I'm interested to see what kind of money he's going to be making, because I hope the Ravens just offered him a similar contract to what he's making now. I wonder what the Cardinals are willing to pay, because I don't think it's about money at this point, because he went to the Cardinals, and it ain't about rings because he went to the Cardinals. It's about comfortability and being happy where you are. Maybe they told him, hey, you can do whatever the fuck you want over here. We don't give a fuck. You can show out to the practice field on a golf cart like you did for the Ravens, man. You can free ice cream all day. No one cares as long as you're playing for us. It's as long as I'm home, I'll take that contract. Damn it, Terrell Suggs. So that's just an icon in the Ravens community. Just gone up and left like that. It's like they went on the Mayflower, like when the Colts left. I wasn't alive then, but it's kind of what it feels like. And I'm just, man, he still had stuff in the tank. He still could have made plays for us. Obviously, the production is dipped, but I mean, he's still a good player. Man, that most sacks in team history, bona fide Hall of Famer. You don't bring him back? Okay, Eric DeCosta, I know you said you're trying to get younger, but you got to keep your leaders at least, right? And then now, I'm sure as I'm recording this, something's going to come out with CJ Mosley. But he hasn't signed with anybody as of right now, and he's another leader on the defense. So if you have Eric Weddle, Terrell Suggs, and CJ Mosley all leave, who's your defensive leader? Huh? Everyone was thinking Jimmy Smith is going to be released. Now what? Or traded because he carries too much of a cap hit, but now he is the most veteran presence. I know we got Brandon Carr, we brought him back, which maybe I'll talk about in another episode, but I was going to do a whole free agency breakdown after everything kind of settled down. But man, this just kind of hit close to home, I met him at some point, I'm pretty sure, when I was younger. Went to some Ravens event. Yeah. So now that man's gone. And it's sad. I'm going to see overall fan reaction. Haven't really seen much. But I mean, this is my reaction. I don't approve. I don't like it. But, you could kind of see the writing on the wall. Especially once Lamar Jackson took over, officially. He took over while he was injured, but then he was named the starter. And they interviewed Terrell Suggs. And he's kind of not talking bad about Lamar, but he kind of backhanded saying like, I mean, you're not gonna play a Super Bowl winning quarterback, okay. So you could obviously tell that Terrell Suggs wasn't about the new the new way things were going with Lamar and the whole team in general with Eric DeCosta. I mean, this is a new era, as much as I've ever seen. Like, we've only had one general manager before, only once, only one guy, and now that's changed, and now everything is kind of changed. Baltimore, it's always been a defensive based team. Maybe that was because of Ozzie Newsome. Maybe now we're gonna go more towards offense. Do I agree? I'm gonna be a fan either way. But I like the dogs that we had. The defensive players who just stood out, and I like. I haven't closed the book on Tim Williams or, what's his name? I don't even know his name off the top of my head right now. The dude from Houston. Fucking, god damn it. Tyus Bowser. Duh. Yeah, so, I mean, whenever Tim Williams was on the field, I like how quick he was off the ball, how quick he got back there. He always seemed to be disrupting the quarterback. Not necessarily always getting to the quarterback, but I like what I saw from him. And same from Tyus Bowser. I saw the same thing. It's just they had trouble getting on the field because we had Terrell Suggs, Zadarius Smith, Matt Judon, who were above them on the depth chart. Now with Terrell Suggs gone, that's snaps to gain. With Zadarius Smith probably going to be gone, that's snaps to gain. And maybe we bring in a rookie. Maybe someone like Charles Omenihu, someone who's good on both run and pass. Kind of replace that Terrell Suggs type. But it's just a sad day for us Ravens fans. It's a huge leader. Just gone. Basically a coach at this point. I mean, but he still produces. Like a player coach. This is now Eric DeCosta's team. Everything's going in a different direction. I think, who knows, like, what kind of the contract talks were like, but I do know that Terrell Suggs didn't like the fact that Joe Flacco was being sat. He did kind of have that interview like I was talking about, where he was like, "You're going to sit a Super Bowl MVP? Okay. But, it seems like the Ravens are almost in a rebuild mode now. Like, the moves that they're making, it seems like rebuild-type moves. But I don't think they are rebuilding. I think they're going to be competitive. That's what I thought. Just hoping to see a positive move after today. Something that doesn't make me sad like this does. Something to bring hope, joy. I don't really think they should sign anybody in free agency. Just keep to the draft. Try to get draft picks. Try to pick like 15 players each draft, and you're gonna find those gems. And anybody who turns out to be top 5 at their respective positions, that's who you pay. Everyone else, let them walk. But Terrell Suggs is gone. Still a huge fan of the team. Still a fan of Eric DeCosta. Can't wait to see what he does in this draft, because he's, as of right now, he's creating more holes than plugging, I think. But that's what happens when players walk. Is he going to take Ozzie Newsome's approach and just wait till people get cut from their teams, like super late in the process? I don't really like that, because that's you're just bringing in a guy, just some random guy. I mean, you're going to be bringing them in super cheap, but there's a reason they're super cheap. You ain't going to get a gem. It's rare that you find those gems, and every time we have found gems, they've had success. It's been a very short-lived success. Yeah. I don't really wear jerseys anymore, just because I don't like having someone else's name on my back. I tripped on mushrooms one time and thought about that, and it just changed my opinion about the whole thing. Still a huge fan of football, but I just don't want someone else's name on my back. And Terrell Suggs is the last jersey I had. It's the last one that I had bought. And, it was like I wouldn't wear it on game day, but, I'd have it, around the neck, swinging it around. And it's just me in my apartment. Maybe I'll have a buddy over or something, or go somewhere and watch the game in public, but it's sad. Ravens, what are you doing? Bring back Terrell Suggs in the Ring of Honor. Yeah, so he's going to sign like one of those one-day contracts just so he can retire a Raven. As long as things didn't end in bad blood, which I don't think they did. Like, is Haloti Ngata still playing? Is he still a thing? Yeah, I just hate when they do this. Just, they better kill it in the draft. I'll have other videos coming out where I'll talk more about other free agency kind of stuff, because they decided to pick up Brandon Carr's contract. Maybe let's talk about that now. Fuck it. So they picked up his option. I guess there's an option in his contract where they can just cut him and it won't cause an issue. No dead money. And it's reported like $7 million a year. And that's a great idea, because now he's like one of the few veterans left on the defense. Someone who can be a leader in the locker room, and someone with crazy durability, especially at his age, and to still be producing. He was up there on the list for PFF. I don't know how high. I think it was like 45 or something. But I mean, at that age, and to never miss a start in your whole career, wonderful. Excellent. Great job bringing him back. And I mean, that would have been one of those moves if they decided to release him, not pick up his option, that would fall in line with what Eric DeCosta wants to do, or what he's saying and what he's kind of been doing. But I think you got too much production, and maybe he already knew that Terrell Suggs was signing elsewhere, because you can't just get rid of all your veterans. You can't just have a rookie team. As much talent as they have, they just, without a leader, there's no one they can share the success with, or at least like fall back on. Like, man, how do you deal with this? How do you do that? There's no one they can go to if it's a bunch of young guys. You can kind of create your own culture that way as a team. But the Ravens, they already got their culture. They already got their shit down. And Terrell Suggs was that culture. Now he gone. So you have to bring back Brandon Carr, someone who the Ravens didn't draft, but someone who's great in the community. Walter Payton, Man of the Year nominee for the Ravens. So an excellent dude. And now hopefully the rookies look towards him. And as of right now, nothing on C.J. Mosley. Maybe he's going around seeing what he can get and realizing, maybe I should stay with the Ravens. Maybe take that $1 or $2 million less a year to stay with the Ravens. Maybe they offered him 12 a year. Someone's like, hey man, we'll give you 14. And maybe he's thinking, should I just stay? Just stay on the Ravens? The whole defense is completely new now. It is a new era. It is a whole new team. I mean, I don't think any other NFL team has gone through more of a change than the Ravens have, with the amount of experience that has so far been lost, the amount of Pro Bowls that have been lost from their team in one off season. Like, I want to see actually look this up maybe. But I'm pretty sure they've lost more Pro Bowls in this off season than anyone else has. That's for sure. This season. So, that being said, that's going to do it. If you like the show, like it, comment on it, share it, do that fun stuff. Sorry if my last two videos or podcasts were a little crazy or bad quality. I was really drunk. I was talking to my buddy about the podcast, and we were like, fuck it, let's just record one right now. He's a Patriots fan, kind of really into football. So we just went off, definitely a few too many drinks in for things to be too coherent. But it was fun. Do another one of those maybe. So that being said, also, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send me an email at csrpod@gmail.com. That's spelled CSRPOD@gmail.com. Also, if you want to support the show, have a Patreon page where you can subscribe, get some exclusive content and a shout out by signing up at CSRPod on Patreon, CSRPOD, or if you want to make a one-time donation because you really love me and just love what I do here, you can send money to my Venmo account at CSRPod. All CSRPod. That's pretty much everything. Spelled CSRPOD once again. Hopefully the Ravens make me happy in the draft, because letting Terrell Suggs walk does not make me happy. Also, I have a sponsor I have to read. My coworker, he gave me 4 quarters and was like, I'll be your first sponsor. And he wants me to sponsor his website, www.ballsackthemighty.com. I don't know what he's selling, but I assume it's ballsack related. Maybe it's bedazzling, but for your ballsack, so it's but ballsying. I don't know. So, that being said, that one's for you, Boogie. Yeah, that's going to do it this episode. I'm going to go cry, use my tears as lube, and I'll talk to you again. With more news and stuff, I'll probably make a reaction video once I hear what happens with CJ Mosley, or I got other episodes planning to do. Just, I'll get to it when I get to it. Talk to you later.